Hello, everybody. It's Amber Kivett here with Lifepro. I'm super excited to see you all this evening. I'm joining you here live from my home, and it is a Sunday evening, getting ready to go into a holiday fun-filled week. And of course, it's the start of 2026, in which many of you are starting to create these new goals for the year. Maybe you have New Year's resolutions that you're trying to create, or you're coming up with a theme of the year. Or maybe some of you are just trying to find a different version of you, or you're trying to figure out how to rebound into a more improved. There's different areas of our life in which we can want more for ourselves, and whether it's financial, whether it is for our health, whether it's for just seeking happier. Maybe you're trying to get more physical activity, or you're trying to lose weight. Just trying to find a happier, healthier version of you. And so tonight's episode, I'm bringing to you in everyday clothes, wearing house slippers. I'm going to be featuring our number one seller vibration plate, which is our Waver. And then we have the Relaxa Vibe, which is one of our Rumblex series plates, in that it has 3 motors, 4 dimensions of vibration, whole body vibration. But while I'm showing you how to just kind of end your day with positive thinking, or whether you're starting your day, if you happen to be watching this video and you're wanting to start your day, I'm wanting to giving you some strategies, as I am a mental health coach and do a lot of work with pain management. And if you're going through some different challenges in your life, there have been obstacles thrown in your life that you didn't choose, and you're trying to figure out, like, why me, or how can I work on getting better? I'm here to share with you from not only my experience and what I've been through in the turmoil of life over the last several years, really, for that matter. We all go through highs and lows in life. And whether you're in a high, whether you're in the mountaintop, or whether you're in a valley, it doesn't matter. There are 7 habits that I'm going to share with you tonight that are clinically proven to help find a happier version of you, because happiness is a choice. And so I want to share with you 7 strategies, or 7 habits that you might be able to find useful and improving your everyday life while using vibration. And so tonight, it's not a matter of doing a workout, though I'm going to take you through some stretching strategies, or just how to flush out the day's emotions, or maybe how to jumpstart the day, if you should watch this in a future series. But either way, I'm here to share with you the different strategies and habits to a happier version of you that you actually have control over, while enjoying movement on the vibration plate, in which the vibration plate does the work for you. Remember, if you're new to vibration plate training, we at Lifepro are one of the top world's experts in vibration plate training, as well as the research that goes into it. And so vibration plates are able to stimulate up to 80% of your muscle fibers to shorten and lengthen and twitch anywhere from 10 to 50 times per second, without your brain providing the signaling to happen. And when we have movement in the body, it changes metabolism, it changes how our body utilizes energy, so it allows to facilitating more accelerated fat loss, if you want to call it fat loss or weight loss, 2 different things, but whatever you want to perceive it. It helps with creating hypertrophy or developing hypertrophy. It helps to cleanse and kind of mobilize lymph, or it helps to facilitate optimal performance in your lymphatic system. All at the same time, it's also changing how your mental health hormones are releasing, and how those neurotransmitters, those nerve cells, are coordinating with your brain. We have clinical research that supports that whole body vibration does improve mental health, as well as improving lymphatic system response, which also facilitates in weight management and just helps us feel better instantly just by being on it. So as I'm demonstrating to you on 2 different vibration plates tonight, I'm going to cover 7 habits to finding a happier you, and you at the end will have the tools and resources, all clinically based, all proven, in order to make a difference in your world, in which you actually have control. So if you have comments that you'd like to share with me, whether it's you've got questions on how to put some of these principles into practice, or whether you have questions about which one of the units to use, which program to use, please don't hesitate to put in the chat box. At the end, I would like to hear from you which one of these 7 strategies or habits that you are surprised to hear about, that you would like to start trying. And if you're already using some of these habits to finding a happier version of you, I'd also like to hear from you as to which one of these habits you're already using or have had success with, because success happens when we come together as a team, we are not meant to go through life together or through life together, especially challenges alone. And when we're alone is when our health tends to decline, especially our mental health. So if you are interested in sharing in the chat or in the comment section as to which strategies or habits you have used in the past or excited to learn about or try in the future. I personally have used all of these in my recovery from a recent oral cancer scare, and I've used a lot of these strategies from overcoming spinal injuries, from overcoming the loss of a child. I've been through a lot of trauma in my life, and so I have been able to exercise these strategies and habits in practice. And so it's part of my everyday life. I do all of these things on a regular basis. I was listening to a podcast just this last week from the top clinical psychiatrist at Harvard, in which they now can prove that our mental health is a response of metabolism. And what is metabolism? Well, metabolism is how the body regulates itself in order to keep us alive. So whether it's cellular regulation, whether it's lymphatic response, whether it's the fuel that we put in our body, whether it's movement or not doing movement at all, whether it is processing the emotions. There's so many things that create metabolism, and whole body vibration is a huge resource and tool. I call it the magic machine, or magic technology, in which it changes and influences our metabolism. So you can actually improve mental health just by changing metabolism, which happens automatically by getting on a vibration plate. If you are at the end of your day and you're wanting to experience more lymphatic response, then plan on using a low preset program on your waiver. I'm using the waiver for part of this, the blue one behind me here. There we go. And if you're using one of the Rumblex series models, you can choose manual mode, or you can choose a P1 or P3 program. P2 is going to be a little more aggressive at the end of the day. I still like to use P2, but if you want to go easier, then you can choose manual mode and choose a lower speed. This is more of a relaxing session with some stretches and some just kind of discussion and strategies. But again, if you're just getting started and you're not familiar with using whole body vibration plate technology, Lifepro has been the forefront in research as well as product development since the late 2019. I was going to say 2018, 2019 is when it really kind of started to evolve. Whole body vibration has been around since the 1950s, but on a residential level in which you're using it at home without having to have a multi-$1,000 machine working on a very specific G-force or level of frequency with amplitude. Those are all things that you probably don't understand or hear about, but you read about. Don't get too caught up in the numbers, in the logistics or statistics. Just get on the machine, turn it on, and let it work for you. And then you don't really have to do anything extra depending on what your goals are. But tonight, it's more about winding down, preparing for a good night's sleep, because the greatest amount of weight loss, fat loss, hormone regulation, and how our body heals itself happens between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. in the morning. And so if you are not asleep or trying to work into getting asleep using those bedtime hygiene routines, now is a good time to start, and it's time to start with using vibration. So if you have a waiver, the waiver that I've got is our number one seller. You're going to choose a program P0 to P2. I will probably choose a P6 because I like to go at the higher end of the spectrum. And on the Rumblex series, choose a lower speed or choose P1 or P3. Again, I just got on my everyday clothes, no exercise gear, no jammies. I got house slippers on. You can go barefoot if you choose to, but you don't have to put anything fancy on in order to experience what the vibration will do for your body by just standing on it. And yes, that's all we're going to do. We're just going to stand on it. So without further ado, go ahead and turn on your machine. And if you want to get on and get going, you can also sit and enjoy the ride. So I'll demonstrate by sitting as well. Let me get my program going here. But you're going to hear me tonight. I don't have as much energy because it's at the end of the day. It's 7:30 p.m. on a Sunday evening leading into a holiday weekend. Anyhow, 7 habits to a happier you in 2026. Number one, take full responsibility for your actions. In other words, you have nobody to blame but yourself for whatever actions that you or decisions that you have made that have led in the outcome that you're experiencing right now or the outcome of the past. when you hand your power over to somebody else, you're giving away the control. So you have control over 4 things in your life. You have control about how you feel about things, what you say, what you do, and how you let information into your mind and into your body. That's it. You don't have control over anybody else. You don't have control over the past. The future isn't here yet. The past is our lessons learned. We're in the moment right now. The future is our motivation to either want more or to be a little more guarded as to what we're getting out of life. So take full responsibility for your actions. If you're having, if you've set yourself a New Year's resolution that I'm going to lose 10 pounds in the next 6 weeks, but your friend invited you out for a meal with some wine and you got off track and you decided to feel sorry for yourself, so you didn't lose your 2 pounds for the week, but you want to treat everybody else around you a little negative because they were able to keep up with their goals, although you couldn't with yours. You have the choice to consume or to attend and defer into what your original plan was. So take full responsibility for your actions, because when you can own your success and you can own your failures, you can own the lessons that you've learned along the way, and you can truly relieve the blame of the past. When you're carrying a grudge or you're carrying weight on your shoulders about things that you're upset about, things that happened to you, not necessarily considering it as happening for you, it's really hard to let go of that, which creates more inflammation response, creates more fight or flight response. So when you just look at the end of your day and say, man, today I just flat out sucked, but I learned this from that situation because I didn't do what I should have done. And because I didn't do that and I did this instead, this is what I get to deal with. But the silver lining is this. So not every failure in life or not everything that goes wrong in our life is a bad thing. In fact, it's only a failure if you choose to not learn from it. And so all decisions that you make, all choices that you make, you're going to have a reward and a consequence for every one of them. It's just a matter of how you perceive it, and it's nobody else's opinion or nobody else's business as to how you feel about the way you're living your life, unless you're infecting others, and that's up to them whether they absorb it or not. I'm going to look at some of the comments here. Oh, super excited. Okay, so who do you call for customer service? I'm going to get to that. Actually, I'm glad that somebody came up with that, because I know that customer service is a little rocky road right now. I can only control what I control. And so if you're having trouble with customer service, I am deeply sorry for that. But let me pull this up for you, because we just have been going through some customer service changes, and we want to make sure that you're getting the help that you need, because we guarantee all the results with a lifetime warranty for our vibration products, or for all products for that matter. So let me pull this up, because things have changed and it can get a little, we're been bombarded. Okay, so I'm going to type this in the chat box, the comments, real quick. I'm going to get off my plate and type this in. So it's 1-800. Let's see here. I usually have somebody doing this for me behind the scenes, but tonight I'm working solo because I love being here with all of you. I love the Rumblex as well. This is my absolute favorite plate. I have every plate that Lifepro has ever made. So there is the 800 number. And the email is support@lifeprofitness.com. And we are available 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And then on weekends, it is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So hopefully that helps. Because customer service after the holidays is a little hectic, be patient, because we will get you taken care of if you have any issues. And the other thing is, if you have reached out to customer service and you have not gotten an official response back, but it might have gone to your spam email account, please take a look at your spam email account and make sure that you don't have a response, because I've had several customers reach out to me. If you don't get a response from customer service, phone or email, and if you can't reach through the social media direct messaging channels using Messenger, then feel free to send me a text message with your information. We need your order number. We need the date it was purchased. We need to know what the product is, a return phone call, return email address, and I will send that on up the line if you can't get a response any other way. But please, if you've already submitted an inquiry and you haven't gotten your product response back, there are a lot of things that are on back order that they're trying to accelerate on restocking. And because the products take a certain amount of lead time to get back in, and we went through selling out of a lot of products over the holidays, you just got to give us time. But I promise we are not ignoring you. There's just not enough product in at the moment. And there are other products that have been ordered for replacement and for replenishment. There's just, you have no idea how many consumers we take care of across the entire world. We are not just in the United States. We are all over the world in multiple countries. So our customer service is top priority. And if you are not happy with our service, please do not post it on social media until you give us a chance. So if you are at that breaking point and you've got no response whatsoever, then please feel free to shoot me a text message. Do not call me. Do not email me. Just shoot me a text message and I will copy it and send it on up to our top customer service representatives, because we've been turning over new team for providing better service for all of you. And my number is 317-446-7971. So I will put that on there. This is one of those moments that I'm controlling the controllables. So 317-446-7971. If you don't get a response, text, do not call, because I will not answer your call. I don't answer incoming calls unless I have your number in my phone. So that's a way to, and I'm the spokesperson for the company. So I can give the information up the channel, but I will not be the one to call you back, and I will not give your number. I will not give our numbers out to you. So anyhow, number 1, take full responsibility for your actions. Number 2 is practice gratitude every day. You cannot be miserable or angry and be grateful at the same time. So if you are going through a moment in your life in which you are stinking thinking, and you are just really having a hard time because you're comparing yourself to your past self, or you are comparing yourself to other people, or you are afraid that they are going to judge you, then you're already creating doubt as to who you're meant to be, and who you think you are and who everybody else actually admires you to be are usually 2 different things. So whether it's you're celebrating you, or you're celebrating what's going right in your life, or you're celebrating others, make sure if you are wanting to find a happier version of you, you have to practice what you're grateful for every single day, because you can't be miserable or angry and be happy and grateful at the same time. It's impossible for the brain to process that. Proven fact. I am feeling a little itchy, so my waiver is working, and I am flowing through some detox. I haven't moved as much today as what I normally move, and I specialize in pain relief. So I work with people who are in pain every single day, and I have seen clients, patients, 15 hours in the last day and a half. I did 10 hours on one day and did another 6 the next day. So Friday and Saturday, pretty much bent over a table all day with 100% success rate. Super happy for my people. But, if you don't celebrate gratitude, and if you are seeing people who are unhappy and who are in pain every day, if you don't celebrate what you are able to witness or what you're able to, what's going right in your life, you can transfer that bad energy to other people, and you can allow them to transfer it to you. Energy transfer is very real. So make sure that you're practicing gratitude every day. No stinking thinking. And if you start stinking thinking, you've already survived your worst day because you're here. And the fact that you get to be here is an absolute miracle. So you're one of a kind, and there's nobody else like you. So don't compare who you are to the past version of yourself, especially if you're trying to lose weight. It doesn't work that way. I'll tell you what, I'm getting itchy, and I love feeling my vibration plate barefoot. So I'm going barefoot on all of you guys. Again, if you have comments, questions, if you want to share with me which one of these habits you need to start using, or which of these habits you've already used, it feels so Good. Yes. I'm telling you, there's a big difference between barefoot and wearing shoes. And wowzers, like, I'm so grateful that I can actually feel this, because so many of you who are relying on us to help you might have neuropathy in your feet and you can't feel your feet. I am so happy right now that I can feel this through my feet, because it feels so different when you can spread your Piggly Wigglies out and you can let them dance and let them tappity tap and you can let them talk for you. If you don't know how to do this, I want you to try something. I want you on your plate, I want you to try balance. I want you to try and squeeze your Piggly Wigglies together, and then I want you to try and spread them apart. Like, can you put little rocks or pebbles in between your Piggly Wigglies without like having to open them up? Like, I can open them up, but can you actually like squeeze and spread? If you can't squeeze and spread, then your pelvic muscles are not working, because the nerve that activates that action aligns right here in your pelvis. It's part of your sacral nerve bundle. So please, if you can feel your feet and if you can be barefoot, especially if you're not doing heavy workouts, barefoot is so important with vibration. It's so much more powerful. Anyhow, didn't mean to get off tangent, but practice gratitude every day. Number three is set clear boundaries and protect your energy. I'm going to come here face to face and share this one, because this is one of my favorites, and this is how my mind is thinking today. If what you're thinking about and who you're surrounding yourself with, if it doesn't make you glow, grow, or flow, it is a no, okay? If whatever decisions you're making, whoever you're spending your time with, whatever it is that you are sacrificing for yourself, if it does not help you to grow even 1% every day, if it is not growing you, if it is not making you glow, and if it's not getting you into a flow, then it is a no, because that means it is bad energy. You get to choose what comes in and what goes out. And if your inflow is not greater than the outflow, then you will drown in the overflow. So make sure that you are setting clear boundaries about what you're saying yes to, what you're saying no to, who you are surrounding yourself with, and protecting your energy, because we become who we surround ourselves with, and we become influenced by the top 5 influences that we surround ourselves with. So make sure that you are setting boundaries. It does not matter whether people are related to you, whether you're married to somebody, whether you are best friends with somebody, they're your boss, they're your neighbor. You have the choice as to how you allow people to interact with you. You have the choice as to whether you spend time with certain people. You have choice as to whether you think about certain people. Make sure if people are not helping you, that it is a no, because if they're hurting you, then you're giving away part of yourself for nothing. And there are certain people out there that will hurt you because they can hurt you, and because they want to hurt you, because they envy or they're jealous of you. So set clear boundaries for yourself and protect your energy. If it doesn't make you glow, grow, or flow, it is a no. Okay, number 4, which we are already doing right now. Move your body daily. Yes, movement is medicine. Motion is lotion. Okay? Again, movement is medicine, whether you're on that or whether you're like jamming it out. Okay? Move your body. Movement is medicine. Motion is lotion. And it changes everything metabolic, hormones, metabolism, frequency of how everything happens. In fact, your frequency of thinking changes how everything heals. So make sure that you are moving. And guess what? We're not moving on the plate. We're just standing here, but the plate is moving us, so it counts. So even if you just get on the vibration plate and just let it move you, that's considered movement. So if you sit at a desk all day, every day, and you're not moving enough because you can't get up from your cubicle to move, well, then get yourself a Waver Mini, which is one size smaller than this. Put it underneath your feet while you're sitting at your desk and let it move you instead. Matter of fact, I would be happy to go grab my Waver Mini, and I'm going to sit down in a chair and watch you enjoy watching me. A little energy exchange there. So stay tuned, hang tight. keep this. This is the Waver Mini. And those of you that haven't seen the Waver Mini, this is my favorite plate to put underneath your desk. So if you have a desk at home and you want to keep moving, but you have to sit all day, then get yourself one of these, get your feet on it, and it moves for you, which changes overall metabolism because energy enters through your feet. So I'm going to enjoy moving while relaxing. It's a good kind of day for that. And so the question becomes, can you sit at a desk all day and have your feet on the vibration plate all day? Because my manual says I shouldn't be on my vibration plate any more than 30 minutes a day. Well, I'm here to tell you, if you decide to sit with your feet on here for 8 hours a day, it's not going to hurt you. I've done it many a days. I've taught a lot of classes like this. It's not going to hurt you because you're not standing on it for 8 hours. You're not in gravitational line in which it's shaking everything up. You're getting circulation, and in fact, your calf is called the second heart of the human body is your calf muscle because it works like a pump. And when we get gunk down here, we have to have a pump for the gunk so it makes its way back up here. Otherwise, you become swollen and inflamed. So move your body. That's number 4. Move your body every day. Movement is medicine. Motion is lotion. Nobody has any excuse not to move. I don't care if you're in a wheelchair. I don't care if you're in a hospital bed. You can put one of these on your bed and get your legs out there elevated. In fact, this is how it works. You can sit on the floor, you can lay in your bed, and you can just sit here and vibrate away. Like this is moving all the way up into my hips, but I'm not on it. I'm just putting my legs on it. It feels oh so good. Okay, number 5, build deep, meaningful relationships. Okay, so I'm going to come up here close. I'm going to repeat that. Number 5 is build deep, meaningful relationships because again, your inflow must be greater than the outflow or you will drown in the overflow and you become what you influence yourself with. So friends, family, coworkers, podcasts, music, television, social media, computers, business meetings, business associates, whatever in your community. Or if nothing at all, you're getting no inflow, which means you're slowly dying anyways because we're not meant to be alone. So make sure that you are surrounding yourself with the right influence, whether it's people or information. I listen to sermons and podcasts every single day to start my day, and that's what keeps me flowing happy. So yes, you can do this sitting, but that is number 5. Build deep, meaningful relationships. Just because somebody's related to you doesn't mean they have a right to you. So I tell people all the time, make a list on a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle. On one side, write down the value of the people that you surround yourself with, like what are they contributing to your life and what are they sucking away from your life? And the people who you love that you don't enjoy spending time with, what about those people make you feel more worried about life? Anxiety is worry. It is the fear of the unknown. It is the fear of the future. We are suffering more anxiety and mental health dysfunction right now than any other time in the existence of mankind. So what causes us to worry? It's judgment. It's fear that's been put into us because we listen to certain things. If you don't watch the news at all and you don't know what's coming and you don't know that you're about to have a blizzard storm hitting you and you're at home and you love who you see in the mirror and you love who you're sharing your time with at home, but you don't have anything to worry about outside of home, those are happy people. If you know that the bad weather's coming and you're like, okay, it could be worse. I could be on a ship out in the middle of a hurricane and I could be waiting for somebody to come and save me. But no, instead you're sitting at home and there's a blizzard coming through where you know you're safe. So you have to look at different perspectives, but figure out who in your life is contributing positive energy to you and who is sucking the life out of you. If there are people who you dread talking to, you know as soon as you walk in to see them or it's hot or cold, there's like no one or the other, but there's somewhere in between. You just don't know which version of that person you're going to get for the day. That's when you just have to know, I can only control what I can control when I'm with those people. And when they are like this, then I am going to have this response. So build deep, meaningful relationships. And just making sure that you're surrounding yourself with great people because who you surround yourself with And who is influencing you is who you become. Who you become, okay? Number 6, live with purpose and serve others. That's a big one. Number 6 is live with purpose and serve others. But here's the kicker. Everybody wants to know, what's my purpose? What's my why? I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing in this world. I just know I'm still here and I'm not happy. I'm going to make this very simple for you because I came up with this concept about a year ago, and I share it with so many kids, so many adults who are in depression, and it makes such a big difference. It's like a light bulb goes on. Purpose is not who you are, and it's not what you do. Purpose is what happens to others when you do what you do. So in other words, if you are a teacher and you still don't know what your purpose is, but you are showing up every day, and there's a child that's in your classroom and they come from a negative energy home where they're put down, they're bullied, they're abused, or they have no parents, or they don't have enough food, or they're not warm, and they come to school and you wear a certain pair of shoes that they just think is really cool, or they see a certain color of marker on the marker board because they don't have markers or crayons at home, or they get to sing a song in music class that they never heard before, which makes them feel excited because they hear horrible things at home, or they're not even allowed to listen to music at home. There are so many people who are suffering behind closed doors, and if you have the ability to just be kind and offer them a part of who you are, just being nice, and you don't even have to say a word. All you got to do is smile and say hi. You don't have to tell them why you're saying hi. You just have to say hi, or just you don't even have to say hi, just smile. Because when these people are used to seeing frowns or negative energy or people who are intoxicated all the time, and they don't get somebody that even notices that they exist, they're walking through life wondering if they're even there. So if you walk up to an individual and say, hey, I love your smile and I love that you're here today. Like, that's all you have to say and walk on. Like, you just changed their life because you got to be an intersection in stinking thinking in their world, and they didn't know that that was possible because they were so numb. But because you noticed them, doesn't matter if you're beautiful. By the way, we're all beautiful. You are all beautiful. You know, it doesn't matter if they know who you are or they know what you do, because you made a moment to stop and just recognize their existence. You served a big purpose because their life changed because you interacted with them. So purpose is not who we are. It's not what we do. It's what happens to everyone and others when you do what you do. So I want to say thank you to all of you for giving me purpose and able to serve you tonight, because you're all here listening. And if you're not here listening and you're listening to it after the fact, you have the choice to pick of one of a billion videos on YouTube or one of a billion videos on Facebook. Like, there are so many things that you can choose. You could have listened to something on Spotify or Pandora. You could have been searching for something on Amazon. You could have been truly turned off to everything, but you chose to listen in to what I have to say, and it's your choice whether you put it into action or not. I have no choice on that matter. I just get to be in control of sharing you what works, and it's up to you to take action. But I got to live in purpose today by serving you. And so thank you for allowing me to use the time that I have in making a difference in just one of you. If it just makes a difference in one of you, that's all that matters. And just remember, you've already survived your worst day, or you would not be watching this right now. Somebody is always suffering far worse than what you are feeling sorry for yourself right now, or from what you've already overcome. And don't forget, you don't have to be qualified with credentials or with education in order to make a difference of somebody who is going through what you have already survived of your past. So you're always qualified to help somebody of your past self. I like to ask people all the time, do you want to be the person who sails the ship in the storm with somebody who has read the map but has never sailed it before? Or do you want to be on the ship with somebody who no longer reads the map because they actually wrote the map? They don't have to read the map because they're the ones who wrote it. I don't know about you guys, but I want to be on the boat in the storm with somebody who has written a map and has sailed the storm over and over and over again. That's Amber. Amber is spokesperson and is here to help all of you, because I have already faced death 7 times, and this machine saved my life in 2019. And I've been studying, immersing myself into this science and technology in combination with sports medicine and strength coaching as a fitness instructor for 25 plus years, I've already survived some of the worst recoveries you can imagine, including learning to walk again with 8 spinal injuries. I've survived that without surgery by doing everything the doctors told me not to do, because what they were telling me to do is making me sick and killing me. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve all of you and living in this purpose that we call, because it's what you do with any one of these 7 habits to change your world that you're going to notice a better version of you, and you're going to find happiness, because that is a choice. It's a choice whether you're happy or not. You get to choose. Nobody can make you happy. You make you happy. And then you get to share that happy with other people that are attracted to you, because they want to know why you're so happy. Like, I want to drink that stuff. I want that Kool-Aid. I want whatever she's taking. I want that pill. I want that magic machine. Because I'm not feeling all that great right now, but whatever they're doing, they look like they're living a happy life. That's why we're here, my friends, because we all work together to get better in life. Just 1% better every day. Just 1% is all it takes. I'm itching a lot right now, which means my lymphatic system is kicking into high gear, which I'm loving. So yes, you can always help somebody of your past self. I'm seeing some comments coming in. Oh, I love hearing from you guys all. This is awesome. Yes. Okay. Yes. So we are definitely going to be uploading this. You'll be able to watch it over and over and over again into the future. If you want to come back and see what the top 5 were, if you're just jumping into 6 with me, you can come back and watch it all over again, and it'll be on YouTube under the Lifepro page. If you don't already have a vibration plate, right now I'm on the Waiver Mini. It is the smallest of our original line, and the Waiver Mini has been around since 2020. The Waiver is the one that I started with, and the Waiver Mini, they only have 1 motor. The more motors that these have, the more energy they're giving you, the more metabolism changes. The Rumblex series next to me, it has 3 motors, and so I'm going to show you the Relax-A-Vibe here last. But the Waiver is this model right here that I've already been on. This is the Waiver, and this is the Waiver Mini. That's the difference. Waiver is one I'm holding. Waiver Mini is the one on the floor. The Waiver is our top selling because it's the cheapest, and you can buy it at Dick's Sporting Goods. You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on Lifepro page. If you need a discount code, feel free to shoot me a message. You can text me, and I'll give you a discount code for 20% off if Lifepro doesn't send you one on their own. I gave my phone number out earlier, so go back and check out the comments. Okay, moving on. Again, I filled my body detoxing. If you've been thinking about vibration plate training, you can seriously just stand on it. That's all I've done. I've stood on it on both of these. I just went from a seated position. I can drop down to the floor and just let my legs feel free. You can do this sitting on your couch, sitting on your bed. If you have restless leg syndrome, or if you have neuropathy in your limbs, this is great for neuropathy. It works wonders for neuropathy. So if you're not sure about where to start, the Waiver Mini is a great product. It's lightweight, it's small, it's easy to move around, and it packs a punch of power. It only has 1 motor, but it gives enough juice that you're going to get some really good movement, and you're going to lubricate those joint surfaces. The Rumblex series, which has 3 motors for 4 dimensions of vibration stimulation, is as advanced as we get, and it is my favorite, but for some people it can be too much. You can always turn that into a Waiver or Waiver Mini. You can always turn one of our Rumblex models by manual mode into one of these, but you cannot turn one of these into one of those. You can't take 1 motor and convert it into 3. But you can take 3 and turn it onto manual mode and isolate down to 1. So if you're wanting to go all out from the very beginning, spend $300, $400 for a lifetime experience of happy on the Relax-A-Vibe or Rumblex series. And if you're just wanting to get started and seeing how it works or how you feel, start with the Waiver Mini or with the Waiver itself, because you're going to experience great benefits no matter what you do, whether you're sitting, standing, laying. You can even, I was sitting on this earlier because I woke up with back pain earlier today from working extensively with a lot of people in the last 2 days. I do a lot of work with cupping and acupuncture and scraping, massage, and strength coaching, mental health coaching. I do a lot of different things. Mind, body, spirit in full circle, all in one roof. It's kind of awesome. Well, it's not kind of awesome. It is awesome. Okay. Last but not least, habit number 7. Feel and process your emotions and be emotionally honest with yourself. Take time and recognize that you feel the way you feel and recover. And it's okay to recognize that you're feeling that way and find a way to manage that response. Because if you ignore how you feel and you don't deal with it, it gets suppressed and it hides in these tissues, which then create issues, which then change our cells, which then change the metabolism, which then change recovery and homeostasis, which then triggers an autoimmune response in which your body attacks itself. That all happens from using emotional, and from not processing your emotions. So if you've been through a bunch of crap in your life and you're stuck with it inside and you've swept it under the rug, or you've just internalized it because you don't think it matters, hire a coach and get it out. Go see a therapist. Write out your thoughts on a piece of paper. Do a lot of journaling. I've had to go through trauma therapy recovery many times in my life. This is public information, but I've been molested as a child. I've been raped in high school. I attempted suicide my senior year of high school. I've lost a child. I've had to learn to walk again from 8 spinal injuries. I have had a hysterectomy, and most recently went through a divorce after 27 years. Went through that a year and a half ago. I've had to go through and offload a lot of these emotions because it has made me sick through the years, and that's how I understand how this all works. I'm truly surviving things of the past, and I'm living my happiest life right now at the age of 47, truly loving my life for the first time in a long time. So if you've got a lot of stinking thinking going on and you're not getting that stinking thinking out, then you're going to have issues in your tissues with the issues of your mind, because our mind processes thoughts on a certain frequency, and that frequency changes your cells throughout your entire body on a frequency. And certain illnesses happen on a frequency, and that's just not good. So I want to share with you, I meant to print this out before the live, and I did not make it in time. Those of you that need a discount code, if you don't have one, shoot me a text message at 317-446-7971, and I will click and send you back a discount code that you can use on the Lifepro website only. It does not work for Amazon. It only works for the Lifepro website. But you can text me that number, and I will give you, just type Lifepro discount code to that number, 317-446-7971. And if Lifepro has not already sent you one, I will be happy to send you one. Okay, so I wanted to showcase this with you because I have a very specific grouping of exercises for those who have stinking thinking and they need a way to cope with those issues. And our issues happen on a certain frequency. So if we don't manage our emotions and get them out and discuss them, whether with friends, with family, with a support group. There are a lot of support groups on Facebook, by the way. If you're not part of our support group on Facebook with the Facebook VIP group, please make sure you find your way over there because it's an awesome place to be. Okay, so here's what I want you to consider. When you feel angry, this is going to be your action, okay? When you feel angry, you're going to pause until you're able to think clearly so that you can respond rationally instead of reacting in a way that your first intuition tells you to. Because when you are angry, your brain blocks the ability to be able to think clearly or to think positively because it does not have the capacity to process information that fast when you are thinking thoughts on a super low frequency. All happiness happens on a super high frequency, and you can't go from down here to way up here in a matter of a snap. It doesn't work that way. So when you're angry, pause until you're able to think clearly, and then you can respond rationally instead of reacting. If you're angry at somebody, type it in an email draft or put it in your notes app on your phone and let it sit and let it cook for 12 to 24 hours. And if you go back in 12 or 24 hours, reread it, and if it is different than what you originally felt before, then write out your amendment or your edits and then let it sit for another, half a day before you actually click copy and paste and send. Because when you have a chance to simmer down and those inflammatory hormones, those fight or flight hormones drop back down and other things around you start to mellow out, then you can process information much more clearly. When you feel overwhelmed or anxious, having a lot of worry, but you're more overwhelmed than anything, you have all these things coming at you all at once, I want you to write down what you need to get done first and foremost in order to make the biggest difference on today. So if you got 12, 15 things on your checkoff list for the day, if there's only one thing that you have to do before the end of the day in order to make a big difference for the next several days or to be able to validate, hey, I won my day today, I want you to write that one thing down that you need to get done and put full intentional focus and nothing gets in your way until you knock that off your list, okay? If you feel insecure, I want you to work on appreciating and accepting yourself, your flaws, and all that you are. I want you to give yourself way more credit than you think you deserve, because when we feel insecure, we start talking to ourselves the way that we would if we were bullying somebody else, but we probably wouldn't be bullying somebody else. So I want you to talk out loud as if you were talking to a child who needs a mentor or needs somebody to save their life for that day. Amber, I want you to know that you matter. Amber, I want you to know that you are beautiful. Amber, I want you to know that you are amazing. And whether you believe it or not, I want you to say those things out loud to yourself, because when you talk to yourself out loud and you say those things and you use your name instead of I, your brain cannot process negative information. It cannot think bad thoughts or any thought for that matter. If you are speaking out loud, it shuts that cycle off. And if you feel rejected, I will acknowledge that this feeling sucks, but I will not let it consume me, because rejection is redirection. So if you're feeling rejected, again, acknowledge that it feels awful and that it sucks and that you're not going to let it take over you. Write down in your notes or on a journal as to why it makes you feel rejected, because that goes back into something of your past in which you are relaying that back into judgment of the future. And it might not necessarily fix everything in the moment, but it will allow to slow down the process of thinking in a downward spiral. When you feel discouraged, I want you to tell yourself, I will be kind to myself and remind myself of the reason why I am trying, and I will use that as my strength to keep going. So if you're feeling discouraged and you are losing motivation or you feel like you can't continue on, remind yourself why it matters and why it's important to you and what you're hoping that the rewards are going to be on the other side of that, and that then becomes your strength. And then last but not least, when you're anxious, when you're worried, focus on what's going on right now and take a few deep breaths and just blow out long, because it reduces the inflammation in your system. It reduces your inflammatory hormones by regulating the diaphragm. And so if you are feeling anxious, remember that you can only control what you can control in this moment. And so I've learned through the years of everything that has happened in my life, you can't change things of the past. You just learn from them. And even if you would change what you did in the past in a future opportunity, it will never be the same situation, same circumstances, same people, same conditions. So you're not going to do the same thing. You just learn maybe what I should have done or what I could have done different. But even so, the outcome of that would not necessarily guarantee what you think. So, and definitely don't judge what everybody else does, because you never understand what others are thinking until you're in their life with their experience. And guess what? That does not exist for any of you, including if you are a twin, because everybody comes with different emotions and we all process it different. All right, moving on to the Relaxa Vibe. This is our Rumblex series model, more of the fancy model. This one's, I've had this one since 2020 as well, so this one's been around for a while. Okay, now, if you're watching, in the comment section, I would like to hear from you which one of those 7 habits to a healthier you. I want you to pick one of them, just one. Which one of those habits are you going to focus on putting into your life starting tomorrow? And I'm wanting to hear in a week or two from now as to whether it made a difference, because you're going to see changes in your life in less than 24 hours just making a difference by incorporating one of these habits. When you move, it releases emotional energy. So make sure as you are processing all of these things that are happening, and you're processing each day as it flows, living an hour at a time, planning into the future with goals and opportunities and responsibility, just remember that movement releases emotional energy so that you're not like vice grip mode, like we're not under intense tension, like we're able to flow through life instead of getting blown through life. Like we don't want to get blown through life. Slow down and enjoy it, okay? But movement releases emotional baggage and energy and allows you to let go of your thinking. So focus on just one of those 7 habits in which it will make a difference for you personally. And let's see where you're at in a week from now. So I'm going to go back through and repeat those 7 very quickly as I'm enjoying the relaxation associated with the Relaxify. And then we'll be winding it down. I'll go through some quick stretches here at the end, or we can relax. And then you can tuck yourself away and have a wonderful night's sleep and wake up to gratitude and a new day of happier you tomorrow. So, number 1, take full responsibility for your actions. Don't hand your power to anybody else and control only what you can control. You only have control over what you let in, what you say, what you do, and your thoughts and opinions. Okay? You don't have control about what anybody else thinks about you. It's none of their business what they think about you. It's none of your business how they feel about you, and it's none of your business about how others react to you if you're doing what makes you happy. So number 2 is practice gratitude every day. You can't be miserable and angry if you're being grateful at the same time. It's impossible for the human brain to process that. So make sure if you are stinking thinking between the ears and within your heart, to practice gratitude every single day. And it doesn't take a lot. Like truly being able to stand on this and talk to all of you because I've got Wi-Fi, because I have a computer that's charged, because I have lights on, because I have power, even though I'm in a rental home that is not mine. It is not the 5,000 square foot dream home that I left behind in the divorce. It's only 1,100 square foot in a community I've never been before in my life. But I am happier now than I've ever been, because money does not make you happy. You cannot worship money and find happiness all in the same. It's more of a convenience than anything, but it's just energy. Consider money as energy. It's a great concept. Money and energy can flow in and flow out all in the same. So practice gratitude every day. Number 3 is set clear boundaries and protect your energy. If it doesn't make you glow, grow, and flow, it is a no. Okay? Set clear boundaries and protect your energies. Make decisions, schedule your day, spend time with the people that are going to truly bring out the best in you. But if it doesn't make you grow, flow, or glow, it is a no. Number 4, move your body every day. Movement is medicine, motion is lotion, and regulates hormone, metabolism, and the frequency that our cells are working. So if you're not moving every day, you're not going to be happy because your body slowly dies. And happiness is truly how you feel within spirit and soul. And your body is truly in a depressive state. Your brain is dying while your body is trying to stay alive. But your mind, not your brain, your mind is slowly whittling away because you're letting it happen. So set clear boundaries, protect your energy, move your body every day. Number 5, build deep, meaningful relationships. Your inflow must be greater than the outflow, or you drown in the overflow. And you become the top 5 influences that you surround yourself with. Who you surround yourself with, the music you listen to, the books that you read, what you're surfing for on social media, quotes, what the music, who is teaching you or working with you, family that is around you on a regular basis, people at the gym, just the groups that you're in. Make sure that you are admiring those influences, because you will become them if you spend too much time around them, because their habits, their words, their thoughts transfer to you, and you eventually become that. So make sure that you're building deep relationships. It does not matter how many friends you have. It does not matter how many followers you have. It does not matter how many people are in your special groups. I like to share this analogy. When you're at the pond and there's a lot of ducks, it's really loud and annoying, because the ducks and the geese are just really loud. Quack, 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 right? They're talking with each other. And so ducks like to gossip, and they like to spread crap. And they're, they can't fly very far. They fly to escape the weather instead of facing it. But an eagle can soar as high as to touch the highest part of the sky. And the eagle can swoop down and listen and visit with the ducks and see what's happening in the duck pond. But the eagle doesn't stay there for very long, or it gets murky and it gets mucky, and then it no longer has the opportunity to fly away, because it has to eat at some point, and its feathers get weighted down and they don't get to thrive. So eagles travel in pairs or as singles. They definitely travel in much, much tighter groups, if groups at all, and they are able to travel much higher, much further than the ducks. So don't get stuck at the duck pond. You can visit the duck pond and listen to all the noise, but don't get stuck there, because you become it. Number 6, live in purpose and live serving others. When you're having a bad day, go serve somebody. Go make a difference for somebody else, because if you're having a bad day and life is not going your way and you go serve somebody, it actually releases happy hormones within you, and it makes you feel better because you're making a difference in somebody else. Yep, I'm getting into a squat because this feels good on my low back and my booty. So when you go to serve somebody else, just remember, somebody always has it worse than you do. Somebody does. And you can always help somebody from your past after you've survived it. You don't have to ask them to do what you did, but you can listen. You can share what has helped you. That's what we're doing right now. And, if they choose to take some of the information you're sharing with them and putting it into practice, then it can make a difference. And if it doesn't, well, that's not your problem. You gave what you could. You offered the information that works for you. And if it works for everybody else, great, you made a difference. And if you didn't, at least you tried. That's all that matters. It's the effort. Checkbox, done. And when you check it off, that actually releases a dopamine response. It releases an addiction response in your body that you matter. So live in purpose, and remember, purpose is not who you are or what you do. It's what happens to others around you when you do what you do. Number 7, last but not least, feel and process your emotions and be honest with your emotional health. Take time and slow down and recognize what's really going on in your mind and in your spirit, and figure out what you need to dissipate those feelings, face those feelings, and conquer those feelings before you try and move on without processing it. Because where you are stinking thinking, or you're not processing what's happening to you, it settles in our body and changes our cells. It changes the frequency in which our body works. It changes the hormone response. Our own thinking can change hormones. It can actually make you age very, very fast. It happened to me when I was 27. So if you don't get that energy out, then the issues in your mind become issues with your tissues. And when there are issues in your tissues, that leads to an autoimmune response in which the body attacks itself. That's cancer, that's diabetes, that's MS, that's Parkinson's. That's all these different things that happen with cellular mutation because the cells are not functioning at an optimal frequency and your body can't heal itself, so it starts attacking. So feel and process emotions and recognize that when you feel a certain way, it's okay that you feel the way that you do. It's okay to process it because somebody else is going through the similar situation. And everybody goes through pain. Everybody goes into the valley and everybody gets to climb the mountain. Everybody gets to go through the highs and lows of life. If you aren't, you are completely lying to yourself. Okay, so last but not least, go ahead and pick which one of those spoke out to you the most. And I'm curious, as we come to an end here, I'm curious as to which one of those 7 speaks loudest to you as to what you might have learned tonight that you are wanting to start using for yourself in future days, hours. You don't have to wait until tomorrow to get started. You can get started tonight. Before you go to bed tonight, get out a journal and write down what you're thankful for. And leave it at your bedside, or share with your family, or share with somebody who's next to you. Hey, I just want you to know I'm grateful that you are here with me tonight, that I get to smile and I get to say hi to you, because one of these days you will not have that opportunity, whether you're gone or they're gone. You will wish that you could have said, hey, I just want you to know that I'm grateful for you and you matter. Like, you're going to wish you could do that if you don't do it now. So you have plenty of time. It's never too late to start on a better version of you. And so in 2026, let's choose one of those 7 habits to finding a happier, healthier version of you, because at the end of the day, it is your responsibility as to how you feel, and happiness is a choice. It is not something that's given to you. It's not something that's earned. It is truly a choice as to how you feel, as to whether you want to be happy or if you want to feel sorry and miserable for yourself. It doesn't matter how you look on the outside. It is truly how you feel intentional inside. And if you don't feel yourself, if you don't love yourself, if you're not happy with yourself, then you're going to compare everything else going around you. You're going to look at all of that and continue to put yourself down, or you're going to put them down out of envy, which makes you that much worse. So I hope you learned something new tonight with me. I appreciate you being here and giving me the opportunity to share this wonderful energy with you. I've learned the hard way through many years of recovering from my own challenges, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity that Lifepro gives me and has given me since 2019 that I've been working with them, to be able to support all of you and giving you, the facts, the knowledge, and the clinical evidence that we know is meaningful and helpful, so that you can find what works for you, because we are all one of a kind. And so what your medical team has maybe suggested to you is not necessarily going to work for you. I can tell you that everything that has healed me from all of these moments of major adversity, of major life crisis, it was not the doctors who gave me the protocol that got me better. It was me finding it through alternative options, and that's how I found Lifepro. So I'm not saying not to listen to what your medical team is telling you, because some of the little things that they can share with you can be meaningful and helpful, but make sure that you're not comparing your scenario to somebody else's scenario, because it all is different for each one of us, and it's all emotionally driven. Our body is emotionally driven as to how it repairs itself and how it maintains and manages itself. So it is 100% capable of healing itself if we would just get out of the way. But the difference between success and failure is the difference between your head and your heart. So make sure that you are protecting what's going on in your head and you're loving yourself from the heart. And with that being said, I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a wonderful night.